Hello, everybody. My name is Josh, and this is the 1/8 scale of from Eagle Moss build the Back to the Future DeLorean. I have it right here, and I'm going to show you of how I made this model into an RC car. Um, you see back here, if I turn my light on, there we go. This is a rear chassis of a drift car 1/10 scale. We'll get more to that in a minute. And also on the front is the original stock front end from the model. I just made it into a RC car. I got a router right here and a receiver. I got this right here. I had to make a little adjustment, so that's everything turns pretty much great now. So I'm real happy with that. And also the battery I'm using is this. I was using another battery, but it was so big that I had to change it. But this is the one I'm using. It's a 25C series 1000, 2-cell 7.4 volt battery, and I got this one from eBay, and I didn't change nothing on the battery, but I did happen to, however, have to change on this right here. I had to get a splitter because this is the original connector for it, and this is the new connector for the battery, so everything actually works. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the body and show you guys how I got this and this working, and how I got the original wheel of the rear end on here to make them go. So let's get started. Okay, everyone, now the whole frame is off. Here is the receiver right here. It's tucked underneath right here. This is the one that came with that. I got this right here from Hobby King, and there it is right there if you guys want to take a look at that. It did have something right here, but one of my wheels right here, I only got a spare one because this right here had a crack, so I ended up getting another one to replace the one that was on here. So I ended up having an extra one. I just put it right on here. I thought it looked real great, but I got the steering servo right here. I might have to get a stronger one. I'm not for sure, but I got it tucked underneath here, and I even had this bolted right on top to make it more into a nice little platform for it. Plus, I took this in. For me to be able to get this to work, I had to cut a piece of metal out right here to make it work, which actually it works real great now. So, and then I dismounted the brain of it right here. So I dismounted this right here, and I got the wires from this connector from this going from underneath to right here. So that's pretty much well taken care of. This was 6 months planning, but the one thing that I was kind of hoping for of where should I put the receiver, because of this right here. Now, because this right here was not even nearly completed yet, I only had this part and this bottom part, and I could not connect this part to this part yet because of this little bracket that's on the bottom right here from a couple of issues ago. I couldn't even mount this to here because of that, but I did happen to put it right here to get a good fitting, and that's where I decided to go ahead and put this little receiver right here. Now as for underneath, I will go ahead and flip the car over so you guys can actually take a look underneath. Okay, everyone, now everything is pretty much underneath That's the car's flipped over right now. You can see if that I had to take this part off to drill a hole through here and the tank area to get the wires go through here to make them a little bit more like tucked up in there. And then I just use some tape right here, which I got to fix this part to get the wires right here. You can actually see if I put my flashlight right there, that's where the steering wheel is supposed to go, but my servo arm is right in there, so that's where, and you can actually see it's really stock because these do turn, and I didn't do nothing to underneath here to up underneath of the chassis because yeah. Now you can actually see it's actually tucked up underneath there, easy to get attached to if I need to make a couple adjustments if I need to. But although it's pretty much like this. Now here's the back end, the RC chassis. I don't know how I can explain this. I had to cut the back part off, and I had to modify these right here, and because it was back up a little bit, so I just put it right back here. I even put the bumper back on, and here's the motor itself that I'm using. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me get my flashlight. But that's the motor right there. It's a RS 540 motor. And this goes like really fast. This is like a cheetah speed. And this is for like a drift car. So that's how I got this pretty much like that, because the motor's not in this, I had to rethink of how I can mount these, because these right here are where the little time bands are supposed to go here on the back. So I had to modify these a little bit and measure how far these are supposed to be out. So they're supposed to be about like 6 inches. So I just took them and glued them right here of where the motor is supposed to be. So these are not going nowhere. They are really tight in there. So, to make the rear wheels work with this bottom chassis, with this back frame, I should say, I had to get this. That's right here. And I had like 4 extra drift rims that no longer need to be used. So I just cut the middle section out, sand it down, and glue these into place right here. Temporarily though, but it actually does work. I can still get in there and get to the, if I can find them, there it is. Right there, I can still get to the screws if I need to. I'm really bad of how to explain this, but also in that one as well, because I can unscrew this, take this off, and the wrench from my car, from an RC car, to take this off on and off, but to change tires, because these right here are really rubber wheels and they actually do work. I hope that is all. That's all I can actually explain right now of how I made this into a RC car. I hope you guys enjoyed this little demonstration. It does work. Back here, the shocks on it, before I do end this video, the shocks do hold up into place. It looks really great. It just